Good morning, grade 5. Welcome to our English class. So, today we're going to continue our lesson in lesson 1, modal and modal phrases. So, remember in modal phrases or modal verbs, we have can, could, be able to, may, might, shall, should, must, have to, will, and would. So let's talk about another modal verbs, may and might. So we use may. First is for possibility, higher possibility. Example, she may be at home. Another is for permission. So you are asking permission. You can use may. May I sit here? Another one is you give permission. The other one is ask. Now you give permission. You can say, yes, you may go now. Or yes, you may sit here. Another is request. May I have the bill, please? Wish is only may. May you both be very happy. Okay? So when you wish, you only use may. Another is use of might, possibility as well, but it's not higher than the may. Okay? So he might like playing basketball. Another one, you can use it in permission, but it's more formal. Might I ask you a question? Another is you give suggestion politely. You might try my cheesecake. Another is request, more formal. Might I borrow your book? And lastly is the use in conditional. Example, if you work hard, you might finish it. Okay? So we can use may and might for formal permission. Form is may or may not plus the base form of the verb or the present simple, right? So example, you may start your exam. You may not wear sandals to school. You may use my phone to call your mother. So you're giving permission to someone. Always remember the red underlined is the modal verb or may, and the base form of the verb is start. Second one is polite and request. So, for example, the form is may plus the subject plus the base form of the verb. So, you remember what are the subjects, right? The I, you, they, we, he, she, and it. Okay, so for example, may I help you? So, this is used in question. Okay, another one, may I use the bathroom? As you see, modal verb comes first. Second is your subject. Next one is your base form of the verb. Another, you can use it in possibility. So the form is may or might plus the base form of the verb. So example, we may go out for dinner tonight. Do you want to join us? Our company might get the order if the client agrees to the price. So you can also see the sentence is giving possibility, right, to happen. So may is the modal verb and go out is your base form of the verb. All right. Second sentence is might is your modal verb and get is the base form of the verb. So you can also use it for negative possibility. So remember, the first one before this one is the possibility. So it may or might happen. This one is the opposite. May or might not happen. So same form. May not, might not, which is negative because you can see not, plus the base form of the verb. Adam and Sue may not buy the house. It's very expensive. They might not buy a house at all. Another use is to make a suggestion when there's no better alternative. So you can use may as well or might as well plus the base form of the verb. So example, you may as well come inside. Chan will be home soon. We might as well take Friday off. There's no work to be done anyway. So as you see, the sentence is giving or making a suggestion. Another way is polite. So this one is more polite suggestion. You can use might plus the base form of the verb. You might like to try the salmon fillet. It's our special today. You might like to come to eat with us later. So as you see, using might in the sentence plus the base form is more polite suggestion. So now let's talk about the use of shall, should, and ought to. Okay, so first is shall, to offer of assistance or polite suggestion. When you are quite sure of a positive answer. So the form is shall plus the subject plus the base form of the verb. So shall comes first because it's a question. So shall we go for a walk? So shall is your modal verb plus your subject, we, and go is your base form. Note, shall is only used with I or we. It is used instead of will only in a formal English. Okay? So now let's go to should. Should is to offer of assistance or polite suggestion. So when you are not sure of a positive answer, take note, this time around is not sure of a positive answer. So the form is should plus the subject plus the base form of the verb. So this is again question. So should comes first plus the subject and the base form of the verb. Should I call a doctor? Should we go for a walk? As you see, should is underlined because this is the modal verb and call is the base form and I and we is your subject. So also note that should is only used with I or we. It is used instead of will only in the formal English. So another use, a prediction or expectation that something will happen. Form should, shouldn't, short form for should not, plus the base form of the verb. So, example, the proposal should be finished on time. I shouldn't be late. The train usually arrives on time. So, the first example is positive. That is why you use should plus your base form of the verb be. So as you see, it's giving expectation, right? That it should be finished at that specific time. Shouldn't is the negative, so you are predicting or maybe expecting also that the train usually arrives on time, so you shouldn't be late. To give advice is the last one. Should, ought to, plus the base form of the verb. So, you should check that document before you send it out. You ought to have your car serviced before the winter. So, you are giving an advice. That is why you are going to use should or ought to. They have the same meaning, all right? Lastly is to give advice about something you think is wrong or unacceptable. So you can use shouldn't plus base form of the verb, okay? So as you see, you are giving an advice, but you use shouldn't because you're giving an advice to someone that shouldn't be done, okay? So Myra shouldn't shout at her mom. So that is you are giving advice to someone. That is why you use this form. You shouldn't throw your garbage everywhere. So you think that she shouldn't throw garbage. So you are giving an advice to someone. Okay? So that would be all for today, grade 5. I hope you've learned something and I'll see you again in our next class. Have a safe day and God bless.